Chapters 25 through 30 of the second book of the Chronicles, from the Young's Literal Translation. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Mark Penfold. Chapter 25. A son of 25 years hath Amaziah reigned, and 29 years he hath reigned in Jerusalem, and the name of his mother is Jehoaddan of Jerusalem. And he doth that which is right in the eyes of Jehovah, only not with a perfect heart. And it cometh to pass, when the kingdom hath been strong upon him, that he slayeth his servants, though smiting the king his father. And their sons he hath not put to death, but did as is written in the law, in the book of Moses, whom Jehovah commanded, saying, Fathers do not die for sons, and sons die not for fathers, but each for his own sin they die. And Amaziah gathereth Judah, and appointeth them, according to the house of the fathers, for heads of the thousands, and for heads of the hundreds, for all Judah and Benjamin. And he inspecteth them from a son of 20 years and upward, and findeth them 300,000 chosen ones, going forth to the host, holding spear and target. And he hireth out of Israel 100,000 mighty ones of valor, with 100 talents of silver. And a man of God hath come in unto him, saying, O king, the host of Israel doth not go with thee, for Jehovah is not with Israel, all the sons of Ephraim. But if thou art going, do it. Be strong for battle. God doth cause thee to stumble before an enemy, for there is power in God to help, and to cause to stumble. And Amaziah saith to the man of God, And what? To do for the 100 talents that I have given to the troop of Israel? And the man of God saith, Jehovah hath more to give to thee than this. And Amaziah separateth them, for the troop that hath come in unto him from Ephraim to go to their own place. And their anger doth burn mightily against Judah, and they turn back to their place in the heat of anger. And Amaziah hath strengthened himself, and leadeth his people, and goeth to the valley of Salt, and smiteth the sons of Seir, 10,000. And 10,000 alive have the sons of Judah taken captive, and they bring them to the top of the rock, and cast them from the top of the rock, and all of them have been broken. And the sons of the troop that Amaziah hath sent back from going with him to battle, they rush against cities of Judah, from Samaria even unto Bethhoron, and smite of them 3,000, and seize much prey. And it cometh to pass, after the coming in of Amaziah from smiting the Edomites, that he bringeth in the gods of the sons of Seir, and establisheth them to him for gods, and before them doth bow himself, and to them he maketh perfume. And the anger of Jehovah burneth against Amaziah, and he sendeth unto him a prophet, and he saith unto him, Why hast thou sought the gods of the people that have not delivered their people out of thy hand? And it cometh to pass in his speaking unto him, that he saith to him, For a counselor to the king have we appointed thee? Cease for thee! Why do they smite thee? And the prophet ceaseth, and saith, I have known that God hath counselled to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and hast not hearkened to my counsel. And Amaziah king of Judah taketh counsel, and sendeth unto Joash son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, we look one another in the face. And Joash king of Israel sendeth unto Amaziah king of Judah, saying, The thorn that is in Lebanon hath sent unto the cedar that is in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son for a wife, and pass by doth a beast of the field that is in Lebanon, and treadeth down the thorn. Thou hast said, Lo, I have smitten Edom, and thy heart hath lifted thee up to boast. Now abide in thy house. Why dost thou stir thyself up in evil, that thou hast fallen, thou and Judah with thee? And Amaziah hath not hearkened, for from God it is in order to give them into hand, because they have sought the gods of Edom. And go up doth Joash king of Israel, and they look one another in the face, he and Amaziah king of Judah, in Beth-shemesh, that is Judah's. And Judah is smitten before Israel, and they flee, each to his tents. And Amaziah king of Judah, son of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, hath Joash king of Israel caught in Beth-shemesh, and bringeth him into Jerusalem, and breaketh down in the wall of Jerusalem, from the gate of Ephraim unto the gate of the corner, 400 cubits, and taketh all the gold, and the silver, and all the vessels that are found in the house of God with Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the house of the king, and the sons of the pledges, and turneth back to Samaria. And Amaziah son of Joash, king of Judah, liveth after the death of Joash son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. And the rest of the matters of Amaziah, the first and the last, lo, are they not written on the books of the kings of Judah and Israel? And from the time that Amaziah hath turned aside from after Jehovah, they make a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fleeth to Lachish, and they send after him to Lachish, and put him to death there, and lift him up on the horses, and bury him with his fathers in the city of Judah. Chapter 26. And all the people of Judah take Uzziah, and he is a son of 16 years, and cause him to reign instead of his father Amaziah. He hath built Eloth, and restoreth it to Judah, after the king's lying with his fathers. A son of 16 years is Uzziah in his reigning, and 52 years he hath reigned in Jerusalem, and the name of his mother is Jechaliah of Jerusalem. And he doth that which is right in the eyes of Jehovah, according to all that Amaziah his father did. And he is as one seeking God in the days of Zechariah, who hath understanding in visions of God. And in the days of his seeking Jehovah, God hath caused him to prosper. And he goeth forth, and fighteth with the Philistines, and breaketh down the wall of Gath, and the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod, and buildeth cities about Ashdod, and among the Philistines. And God helpeth him against the Philistines, and against the Arabians who are dwelling in Gur-Baal, and the Mehunim. And the Ammonites give a present to Uzziah, and his name goeth unto the entering in of Egypt, for he strengthened himself greatly. And Uzziah buildeth towers in Jerusalem by the gate of the corner, and by the gate of the valley, and by the angle, and strengtheneth them. And he buildeth towers in the wilderness, and diggeth many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and in the plain, husbandmen and vine-dressers in the mountains, and in Carmel, for he was a lover of the ground. And Uzziah hath a force making war, going forth to the host by troops, in the number of their reckoning by the hand of Jael the scribe, and Maaseiah the officer, by the hand of Hananiah, one of the heads of the king. The whole number of heads of the fathers of the mighty ones of valor is 2,600, and by their hand is the force of the host, 300,000, and 7,500 warriors, with mighty power to give help to the king against the enemy. And Uzziah prepareth for them, for all the host, shields, and spears, and helmets, and coats of mail, and bows, even to stones of the slings. And he maketh in Jerusalem inventions, a device of an inventor, to be on the towers and on the corners, to shoot with arrows and with great stones, and his name goeth out unto a distance, for he hath been wonderfully helped till that he hath been strong. And at his being strong, his heart hath been high unto destruction, and he trespasseth against Jehovah his God, and goeth in unto the temple of Jehovah to make perfume upon the altar of perfume. And Azariah the priest goeth in after him, and with him priests of Jehovah, 80 sons of valor. And they stand up against Uzziah the king, and say to him, Not for thee, O Uzziah, to make perfume to Jehovah, but for priests, sons of Aaron, who are sanctified to make perfume. Go forth from the sanctuary, for thou hast trespassed, and it is not to thee for honor from Jehovah God. And Uzziah is wroth, and in his hand is a censer to make perfume, and in his being wroth with the priests, the leprosy hath risen in his forehead before the priests in the house of Jehovah from beside the altar of perfume. And Azariah the head priest looketh unto him, and all the priests, and lo, he is leprous in his forehead, and they hasten him thence, and also he himself hath hastened to go out, for Jehovah hath plagued him. And Uzziah the king is a leper unto the day of his death, and inhabiteth a separate house, a leper, for he hath been cut off from the house of Jehovah, and Jotham his son is over the house of the king, judging the people of the land. And the rest of the matters of Uzziah, the first and the last, hath Isaiah son of Amoz the prophet written. And Uzziah lieth with his fathers, and they bury him with his fathers in the field of the burying place that the kings have, for they said, He is a leper, and reign doth Jotham his son in his stead. Chapter 27. A son of 25 years is Jotham in his reigning, and 16 years he hath reigned in Jerusalem. And the name of his mother is Jerusha, daughter of Zadok. And he doth that which is right in the eyes of Jehovah, according to all that Uzziah his father did. Only he hath not come in unto the temple of Jehovah, and again are the people doing corruptly. He hath built the upper gate of the house of Jehovah, and in the wall of Ophel he hath built abundantly, and cities he hath built in the hill country of Judah, and in the forests he hath built palaces and towers. And he hath fought with the king of the sons of Ammon, and prevaileth over them. And the sons of Ammon give to him in that year 100 talents of silver, and 10,000 cores of wheat, and of barley 10,000. This have the sons of Ammon returned to him both in the 2nd year and in the 3rd. And Jotham doth strengthen himself, for he hath prepared his ways before Jehovah his God. And the rest of the matters of Jotham, and all his battles and his ways, lo, they are written on the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. A son of 25 years was he in his reigning, and 16 years he hath reigned in Jerusalem. And Jotham lieth with his fathers, and they bury him in the city of David, and reign doth Ahaz his son in his stead. Chapter 28. A son of 20 years is Ahaz in his reigning, and 16 years he hath reigned in Jerusalem. And he hath not done that which is right in the eyes of Jehovah, as David his father, and walketh in the ways of the kings of Israel, and also molten images hath made for Baalim, and himself hath made perfume in the valley of the son of Hinnom, and burneth his sons with fire according to the abominations of the nations that Jehovah dispossessed from the presence of the sons of Israel, and sacrificeth and maketh perfume in high places, and on the heights, and under every green tree. And Jehovah his God giveth him into the hand of the king of Aram, and they smite him, and take captive from him a great captivity, and bring them into Damascus. And also into the hand of the king of Israel he hath been given, and he smiteth him a great smiting. And Pekah son of Remaliah slayeth in Judah 120,000 in one day. The whole are sons of valor, because of their forsaking Jehovah God of their fathers. And Zichri, a mighty one of Ephraim, slayeth Maaseiah son of the king, and Azrikam leader of the house, and Elkanah second to the king. And the sons of Israel take captive of their brethren 200,000, wives, sons, and daughters, and also much spoil they have seized from them, and they bring in the spoil to Samaria. And there hath been there a prophet of Jehovah, Oded is his name, and he goeth out before the host that hath come in to Samaria, and saith to them, Lo, in the fury of Jehovah God of your fathers against Judah, he hath given them into your hand, and ye slay among them in rage, unto the heavens it hath come. And now, sons of Judah and Jerusalem, ye are saying to subdue for menservants and for maidservants to you. But are there not with you causes of guilt before Jehovah your God? And now hear me, and send back the captives whom ye have taken captive of your brethren, for the heat of the anger of Jehovah is upon you. And certain of the heads of the sons of Ephraim, Azariah son of Johanan, Berechiah son of Meshillemoth, and Jehizkiah son of Shallum, and Amasa son of Hadlai, rise up against those coming in from the host, and say to them, Ye do not bring in the captives hither, for to guilt against Jehovah on us ye are saying to add unto our sin and unto our guilt, for abundant is the guilt we have, and the fierceness of anger on Israel. And the armed men leave the captives and the prey before the heads and all the assembly. And the men who have been expressed by name rise and take hold on the captives, and all their naked ones they have clothed from the spoil. Yea, they clothe them, and shoe them, and cause them to eat and drink, and anoint them, and lead them on asses, even every feeble one, and bring them into Jericho, the city of palms, near their brethren, and turn back to Samaria. At that time hath King Ahaz sent unto the king of Ashur to give help to him. And again the Edomites have come, and smite in Judah, and take captive a captivity. And the Philistines have rushed against the cities of the low country, and of the south of Judah, and capture Bethshemesh, and Aijalon, and Gederoth, and Shoko and its villages, and Timnah and its villages, and Gimzo and its villages, and dwell there. For Jehovah hath humbled Judah because of Ahaz king of Israel, for he made free with Judah, even to commit a trespass against Jehovah. And Tilgath-Pilneser king of Ashur cometh in unto him, and doth distress him, and hath not strengthened him. Though Ahaz hath taken a portion out of the house of Jehovah, and out of the house of the king, and of the princes, and giveth to the king of Ashur, yet it is no help to him. And in the time of his distress he addeth to trespass against Jehovah this king Ahaz, and he sacrificeth to the gods of Damascus, those smiting him, and saith, Because the gods of the kings of Aram are helping them, to them I sacrifice, and they help me. And they have been to him to cause him to stumble, and to all Israel. And Ahaz gathereth the vessels of the house of God, and cutteth in pieces the vessels of the house of God, and shutteth the doors of the house of Jehovah, and maketh to himself altars in every corner in Jerusalem. And in every city and city of Judah he hath made high places to make perfume to other gods, and provoketh Jehovah God of his fathers. And the rest of his matters, and all his ways, the first and the last, lo, they are written on the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. And Ahaz lieth with his fathers, and they bury him in the city, in Jerusalem, but have not brought him in to the graves of the kings of Israel, and reign doth Hezekiah his son in his stead. Chapter 29. Hezekiah hath reigned, a son of 25 years, and 29 years he hath reigned in Jerusalem, and the name of his mother is Abijah, daughter of Zechariah. And he doth that which is right in the eyes of Jehovah, according to all that David his father did. He, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, hath opened the doors of the house of Jehovah, and strengtheneth them, and bringeth in the priests and the Levites, and gathereth them to the broad place to the east. And he saith to them, Hear me, O Levites, now sanctify yourselves, and sanctify the house of Jehovah, God of your fathers, and bring out the impurity from the sanctuary. For our fathers have trespassed, and done that which is evil in the eyes of Jehovah our God, and forsake him, and turn round their faces from the tabernacle of Jehovah, and give the neck. Also, they have shut the doors of the porch, and quenched the lamps, and perfume they have not made, and burnt offering have not caused to ascend in the sanctuary to the God of Israel. And the wrath of Jehovah is on Judah and Jerusalem, and he giveth them for a trembling, for an astonishment, and for a hissing, as ye are seeing with your eyes. And lo, fallen have our fathers by the sword, and our sons and our daughters and our wives are in captivity for this. Now, with my heart, to make a covenant before Jehovah God of Israel, and the fierceness of his anger doth turn back from us. My sons, be not now at rest, for on you hath Jehovah fixed to stand before him, to serve him, and to be to him ministering and making perfume. And the Levites rise, Mahath son of Amasai, and Joel son of Azariah of the sons of the Kohathite, and of the sons of Merari, Kish son of Abdi, and Azariah son of Jehalalel, and of the Gershonite, Joah son of Zimah, and Eden son of Joah. And of the sons of Elizaphan, Shimri, and Jeiel, and of the sons of Asaph, Zechariah and Mattaniah, and of the sons of Heman, Jehiel and Shimei, and of the sons of Jeduthun, Shemaiah and Uzziel. And they gather their brethren, and sanctify themselves, and come in, according to the command of the king in the matters of Jehovah, to cleanse the house of Jehovah. And the priests come in to the inner part of the house of Jehovah, to cleanse it, and bring out all the uncleanness that they have found in the temple of Jehovah to the court of the house of Jehovah, and the Levites receive it, to take it out to the brook Kidron without. And they begin on the first of the first month to sanctify, and on the 8th day of the month they have come to the porch of Jehovah, and they sanctify the house of Jehovah in 8 days. And on the 16th day of the first month they have finished. And they come in within unto Hezekiah the king, and say, We have cleansed all the house of Jehovah, and the altar of the burnt offering, and all its vessels, and the table of the arrangement, and all its vessels, and all the vessels that King Ahaz cast away in his reign, in his trespass, we have prepared and sanctified, and lo, they are before the altar of Jehovah. And Hezekiah the king riseth early, and gathereth the heads of the city, and goeth up to the house of Jehovah. And they bring in 7 bullocks, and 7 rams, and 7 lambs, and 7 young he-goats, for a sin offering for the kingdom, and for the sanctuary, and for Judah. And he saith to sons of Aaron the priests, to cause them to ascend on the altar of Jehovah. And they slaughter the oxen, and the priests receive the blood, and sprinkle on the altar, and they slaughter the rams, and sprinkle the blood on the altar, and they slaughter the lambs, and sprinkle the blood on the altar. And they bring nigh the he-goats of the sin offering before the king and the assembly, and they lay their hands upon them. And the priests slaughter them, and make a sin offering with their blood on the altar, to make atonement for all Israel. For all Israel, said the king, is the burnt offering and the sin offering. And he appointeth the Levites in the house of Jehovah with cymbals, with psalteries, and with harps, by the command of David and of Gad, seer of the king, and of Nathan the prophet, for by the hand of Jehovah is the command, by the hand of his prophets. And the Levites stand with the instruments of David, and the priests with the trumpets. And Hezekiah saith to cause the burnt offering to ascend on the altar, and at the time the burnt offering began the song of Jehovah, and the trumpets, even by the hands of the instruments of David, king of Israel. And all the assembly are doing obeisance, and the singers singing, and the trumpeters blowing. The whole is till the completion of the burnt offering. And at the completion of the offering up, bowed have the king and all those found with him, and do obeisance. And Hezekiah the king saith, and the princes, to the Levites to give praise to Jehovah in the words of David, and of Asaph the seer. And they praise, unto joy, and they bow and do obeisance. And Hezekiah answereth, and saith, Now ye have filled your hand to Jehovah. Come nigh, and bring in sacrifices and thank offerings to the house of Jehovah. And the assembly bring in sacrifices and thank offerings, and every willing-hearted one burnt offerings. And the number of the burnt offerings that the assembly have brought in is 70 oxen, 100 rams, lambs 200, for a burnt offering to Jehovah are all these. And the sanctified things are oxen 600, and sheep 3,000. Only the priests have become few, and have not been able to strip the whole of the burnt offerings, and their brethren the Levites strengthen them till the completion of the work, and till the priests sanctify themselves, for the Levites are more upright of heart to sanctify themselves than the priests. And also burnt offerings are in abundance, with fat of the peace offerings, and with oblations for the burnt offering, and the service of the house of Jehovah is established. And rejoice doth Hezekiah and all the people, because of God's giving preparation to the people, for the thing hath been suddenly. Chapter 30. And Hezekiah sendeth unto all Israel and Judah, and also letters he hath written unto Ephraim and Manasseh, to come in to the house of Jehovah in Jerusalem, to make a Passover to Jehovah, God of Israel. And the king taketh counsel, and his heads, and all the assembly in Jerusalem, to make the Passover in the 2nd month. For they have not been able to make it at that time, for the priests have not sanctified themselves sufficiently, and the people have not been gathered to Jerusalem. And the thing is right in the eyes of the king, and in the eyes of all the assembly. And they establish the thing, to cause to pass over an intimation into all Israel, from Beersheba even unto Dan, to come in to make a Passover to Jehovah God of Israel in Jerusalem, for not for a long time had they done as it is written. And the runners go with letters from the hand of the king and his heads into all Israel and Judah, even according to the command of the king, saying, O sons of Israel, turn back unto Jehovah God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and he doth turn back unto the escaped part that is left of you from the hand of the kings of Ashur. And do not be like your fathers, and like your brethren, who trespassed against Jehovah God of their fathers, and he giveth them to desolation, as ye do see. Now harden not your neck like your fathers. Give a hand to Jehovah, and come in to his sanctuary that he hath sanctified to the age, and serve Jehovah your God, and the fierceness of his anger doth turn back from you. For in your turning back unto Jehovah, your brethren and your sons have mercies before their captors, even to return to this land. For gracious and merciful is Jehovah your God, and he doth not turn aside the face from you, if ye turn back unto him. And the runners are passing over from city to city, in the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, even unto Zebulun, and they are laughing at them, and mocking at them. Only certain from Asher and Manasseh and from Zebulun have been humbled, and come into Jerusalem. Also in Judah hath the hand of God been to give to them one heart to do the command of the king and of the heads in the matter of Jehovah. And much people are gathered to Jerusalem to make the feast of unleavened things in the 2nd month, a mighty assembly for multitude. And they arise and turn aside the altars that are in Jerusalem, and all the perfume altars they have turned aside, and cast them to the brook Kidron. And they slaughter the Passover offering on the 14th of the 2nd month, and the priests and the Levites have been ashamed, and sanctify themselves, and bring in burnt offerings to the house of Jehovah. And they stand on their station according to their ordinance. According to the law of Moses the man of God, the priests are sprinkling the blood out of the hand of the Levites. For many are in the assembly who have not sanctified themselves, and the Levites are over the slaughtering of the Passover offerings for every one not clean, to sanctify him to Jehovah. For a multitude of the people, many from Ephraim and Manasseh, Issachar and Zebulun, have not been cleansed, but have eaten the Passover otherwise than it is written. But Hezekiah prayed for them, saying, Jehovah, who is good, doth receive atonement for every one who hath prepared his heart to seek God, Jehovah God of his fathers, yet not according to the cleansing of the sanctuary. And Jehovah hearkeneth unto Hezekiah, and healeth the people. And the sons of Israel, those found in Jerusalem, make the feast of unleavened things 7 days with great joy. And giving praise to Jehovah day by day are the Levites and the priests, with instruments of praise before Jehovah. And Hezekiah speaketh unto the heart of all the Levites, those giving good understanding concerning Jehovah. And they eat the appointed thing 7 days, sacrificing sacrifices of peace offerings, and making confession to Jehovah, God of their fathers. And all the assembly take counsel to keep other 7 days, and they keep 7 days with joy. For Hezekiah king of Judah hath presented to the assembly 1,000 bullocks, and 7,000 sheep. And the heads have presented to the assembly bullocks 1,000, and sheep 10,000, and priests sanctify themselves in abundance. And all the assembly of Judah rejoice, and the priests, and the Levites, and all the assembly, those coming in from Israel, and the sojourners, those coming in from the land of Israel, and those dwelling in Judah. And there is great joy in Jerusalem, for from the days of Solomon son of David king of Israel there is not like this in Jerusalem. And the priests, the Levites, rise and bless the people, and their voice is heard, and their prayer cometh into his holy habitation, to the heavens. The end of chapters 25 through 30. Recording by Mark Penfold.